This
I lost. I'm gonna go first.
Forgotten Realms is so silly. It like makes me want to build a deck completely based on it. Like not run any cards outside of it, you know, and just run a fuck ton of like roll dice, enter dungeons. Just use all of its crazy mechanics.
Yep. I think Mark Rosewater calls that parasitic, or not quite. I don't know, but Blood Gift Demon.
Just there's not a lot of sets that make me want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, because every time I open a card, I'm like, wow, this would be really cool with this card not in that set. But it could just be this one. Could just be a warlock. That's all like, hey man, let's go venture into dungeons and make treasures and do D&D type things because I just chose to run a commander with 2 creature types that have never been seen on cards before.
Tiefling Warlock, yeah. Oh, you know, we've made the joke 12 million times. Actually, do I have a hand? I can't set up I want this hand. We made the joke 12 million times. Is Karlov, he's a spirit advisor. Is he an advisor to spirits? No. The model they came up with in, like, Magic 2010 is species, class.
Oh,
So,
okay.
he is a spirit. He is an advisor.
Oh, you would think it would be hyphenated. Or no,
Other way around.
hyphenated would be the fact that he advises spirits.
Yeah.
Cool. That's why I've always liked that superhero that I created, the hyphen.
Yeah, just adds a hyphen.
It has the ability to hyphenate, dude.
Yeah.
Look at this chainsaw flamethrower.
Does that mean, like, your parents divorced? All right, now they're married again.
The issue is that he wouldn't do it to living things after the first time he did it. You know, because in order to save a guy's life, the only thing he had on him was silly putty. So silly putty man. So he's man who is also silly putty.
Oh, okay. Does
It makes him a little less controllable than Mr. Fantastic, but can pull like comic strips off of newspapers. Like I don't know if Mr. Fantastic can do that. Or let's face it, Professor Impossible.
they can't, but Plastic Man can, I think. Anyways.
Plastic Man can?
Yeah, he's also Mr. Fantastic.
The plastic.
Comics are dumb. I go first, right? Because I lost? Awesome. Mountain Go.
The Plastic Man can? Because he makes the world taste good. Plastic Man. It's a Spine Rock Knoll. Enters the battlefield tapped. I exile the top 4 cards. Exile one of them on it. It's going to be that one because it's hilarious. Rest on the bottom of my library. Doesn't matter what thing. Because let's face it, man. I'm going to be shuffling my library before I play the bottom of it. And it's your turn. I do not run Grenzo. But that deck would be a lot of fun now.
Canyon Slot Winter's tapped. Say go.
He's like, he lets you play the bottom card of your library. Foreboding Ruins. Enters the battlefield tapped. You may reveal a swamp or mountain card from your hand. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped.
It's a new AFR.
And a Mindstone. It's your turn.
Listening to the Command Zone, and they're talking about like one of the new artifacts, and they're like, yeah, but it's not a Mind Stone. It's almost a Mind Stone, but you can't sack it to draw a card.
Yeah.
Speaking of draw a card, I draw a card. Not exactly how I wanted this to go, but we're okay because I'm going to play this Polluted Mire tapped rather than tap out to draw it. And then I say go.
It's the mountain that I revealed last turn, as opposed to the mountain that I did not reveal last turn. Prosper, Tomebound.
1 cast.
End of my turn, exiles the top card of my library. It's a swamp.
What a drop.
Love it.
I'll take that silence. I'm gonna take as a go ahead. I'll do that. I miss a land drop.
No.
Play a Darksteel Link out.
Which is almost like a land drop, except you had to pay for it.
Yeah. And say go. Granted, it is indestructible, which is cool. But they made indestructible lands, so.
Well, it looks like I play a swamp from exile, so it gets me a treasure. in a different order, though, if that's okay.
Sure.
I want to play the Valakut's Exploration first. So, whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, I exile the top card of my library and may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. And at the beginning of my end step, if there are cards exiled with Valakut Exploration, put them into its owner's graveyard. Then Valakut Exploration deals that much damage to each opponent.
Beginning of your next end step. Okay.
Yeah, so I exile it. If I don't cast it, it goes into my graveyard, and you take a damage.
That's fine.
Yeah. Swinging in for 1.
It's only 1? Oh, man.
Oh yeah. He's very weak without.
Lash right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this goes into my graveyard. You take a damage.
Okay.
And I exile the top card, which is a Felwar Stone.
1 damage. Did I stomp myself? All right. 1 from him, 1 from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Set.
Yep.
Draw. You know, Mirrored Landscape. It's not the worst, but it'll help me catch up slowly. And I think we start the investment. 1, 2, 3 on a black. Cryptghast. And
I wonder if we'll be looking for 2 swamps off of
That's
that Myriad Landscape. And you're good?
Yep.
I untap. Draw. I will also play a Myriad Landscape. When that enters the battlefield, I exile the top card. It's a Kokusho.
It's a good card.
1, 2, sack the treasure for a Felwar Stone. And it gets me a treasure.
Tap for a color.
A land an opponent controls could produce.
Did you design that deck for this deck?
No, it just came with a Felwar Stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You sacking the treasure?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a Kokusho. And it makes me a
Stunk.
treasure. And I swing for 1.
I take a mere 1 damage.
No, it's a Tiefling Warlock.
Okay.
It's not a mirror. End of my turn, I exile the top card of my library. It's a swamp. The thing about this deck is I constantly have a fuck ton of cards in my hand because I don't cast any of them. It's all just like, well, you just exiled cards and you're going to lose them.
I have 1 swamp at the moment. So, black, +1, Phyrexian Arena. And while I'm at it, bam, sack this Mirrored Landscape, start for 2 basics. And then, hopefully, play this game.
And then, and only then.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like is that they have to share a type.
Yeah. It'd be super busted if it let you go. It would be green.
Yeah.
If it let you go look for 2 basics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was just lands, then it'd be busted.
Yeah.
So for Urborg and Cabal, just in one swoop, yeah.
Yeah, not many cards do that.
Heroes only basics.
Its name is Primeval Titan, and they banned it.
Yeah, presumably for that reason.
Yep.
And say go.
Nice. This will be a cool turn. I draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I'm not casting anything from my hand. A swamp, which gets me a treasure. I now have 2 of them.
Nice.
And I played a land, which exiles the top card of my library. It's a Blasphemous Act. Wow, a card I won't be playing from exile this turn. I will crack my 2 treasures and my Myriad Landscape to go look through my deck for 2 basics that share a type. What do I need? I guess I'll go for 2 swamps.
Okay.
1. I came across more mountains than I did swamps. Swamp. That's going to exile the top 2 cards of my library. A Wayfarer's Bauble and a swamp. I will play a Wayfarer's Bauble, which gets me a treasure. God, that's cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana up. the Wayfarer's Bauble. Go look through my deck for a mountain, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and when it happens, I exile the top card of my library and can cast it this turn. Valakut's Exploration, real cool for this.
Yeah, finding cool shit all the time.
It's a Temple of the False Gods.
Nice.
God damn it. Which leaves me with no more cards to cast from exile. It's silly. So I guess we'll play a Falconwrath Aristocrat. Because apparently that likes showing up.
Good card to like you.
And we swing for 1 and 4 is 5.
Which has haste? Jesus.
Yeah.
1 and 4 is 5. Okay. I take 5. 1 of it is commander damage.
And then at the end of my turn, 3 cards go from exile into my graveyard, so you take 3 off of the exploration. And I exile a Lelia! Nice! 2/2 haste that whenever it attacks, you exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. And whenever you exile 1 or more cards from your library and or your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on her.
Cool.
I thought she would be a really cool mono red commander.
Set.
Yep.
Which does sound pretty cool, like a mono red.
Just,
I lose life and draw a card.
if mono red needs something, it's access to more cards.
Not draw a card. None of these are lands. God fucking Jesus. Oh yeah, swamp. Okay. Let me count.
There's some mana for you. So I'm excited for an ooze deck. I'm actually like,
Did I wind up with that Ogre Jet? Hell yeah, I did. Awesome.
Volo would be a lot of fun too. Because there's enough cards in green and blue that will bounce things that you own back to your hand.
Cool.
So that you won't leave the same creature type in play or in your graveyard.
Neat.
God, could you imagine? I'm going to play my acidic slime. I get 2 of them. I'm going to play my fucking Solemn Simulacrum. I get 2 of them.
Okay. 2, 4, and actually, starting with that, Grave Pact. Good card to love me.
Good, like, best card to love you, even. What is this? Right.
That's a Swamp Mountain. That's just a land. So let's go like this. Bam. 2, Rakdos Signet. Again, much like a land, except I had to pay for it. Leaving me with bam, bam, Skirk Ridge Exhumer. I can black tap, discard a card, create a festering zombie, thing.
Festering goblin.
Yeah, the one where the token I have is just a card. It's great. Oh, and if I was smarter, I would have instead have done that, so I have something to have a mana with. And Sego. Flying is kind of an issue, but let's see if I'm going to use it.
I draw. Okay, so first things first. Play the Eulalia. Yeah, I think it's just Lelia, not Eulalia. So, bam, I play her. I get a treasure. I play a Tainted Peak, which exiles the top card of my library. It's a creative technique. And it puts a +1/+1 counter on her.
Demonstrate it. What's the worst that could happen?
You could see a damnation. Is the worst thing that is the worst that could happen. The issue is that there's like the Lelia gets stronger. I think we're gonna do it.
Hell yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but probably in a way that leaves me colored up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Treasure goes away. I demonstrate.
Just regular?
Yep. I mean, you can do it too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you do it first. It gets me a treasure when I do it.
Non-land?
Shuffle first, and then you
Oh,
reveal
okay.
cards until you hit a non-land permanent.
Okay.
Or a non-land card.
I was gonna say, very rare, a non-basic land that is real. So. Reveal to hit a non-land. Cabal Coffers, that's a land. Mountain, that's a land. Witch's Oven. And then just, I can play it for free.
You get a Witch's Oven for free. Yeah.
And then these go in the bottom or shuffled in?
Where the hell's the card? On the bottom of your library in a random order.
Okay. Cabal Coffers is all the way at the bottom. Good to know. Good
You're
to know.
So, first, it's a Massacre Worm. So
I will tap, sack, I
gets
don't know.
Exiled. This
The
gets a thing. I get another treasure. Or no, get the treasure for the one.
tap, sack, who cares? One of them. Just so that sack a creature. If you're going to put out a Massacre Worm. Oh, wait. No, hang on. When do I get to play this at normal speed? Or
No,
immediately?
so yeah, it happens immediately.
Yeah.
So you get to play the
So if
Witch's
you're going to
Oven.
play a Massacre Worm, I'm going to
Yep.
respond by tap, sack a creature. Oh, it's one sack a creature. Good. And not tap. No, it is tap. Tap and not one. Sack a creature. Let's say Cryptghast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a food, and
I sacrifice a creature.
yeah.
It's the Falconwrath Aristocrat. And then the Massacre Worm enters.
Sounds right. Killing this dude, and I take 2.
And I sacrifice a creature.
Yeah.
I think it's the Kokusho. You lose 5, I gain 5.
Makes a lot of sense.
And it happens again. It's a Tybalt's Trickery, which gets exiled, which puts another counter on this. I'm not going to cast it because I don't want to cast a Tybalt's Trickery, so I think it just remains exiled. Try to put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast the card without paying. Yeah, so just chills in exile. This goes to the bottom of my library in a random order. This is in exile, never to be touched again. That was good, fine. Okay, so I swing with a Prosper and a Lelia. When this swings, it gets a +1/+1 counter and it exiles this card off the top. I can cast it for as long as it's exiled.
Oh, sweet signet.
Thank you. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7.
Alrighty. One of which committer.
Mm-hmm. Which, during my second main phase, I'll play the Rakdos, gets me a treasure, and then I'll pay 1, and you've taken 7 or more damage this turn, so Spine Rock Knoll hits me my Chaos Wand, and that's me casting something from exile, so I get another treasure. 4, tap. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of that library in a random order.
Cool.
Yeah. Which, like, totally counts as playing something from exile. So it would get me a treasure.
Yep, says exiles.
Love it. Do we want to, though? I don't think so. Not this turn. So we'll move to end step. I'll exile this Birdian Longbow, and it puts a counter on my Lelia.
Strong.
That's your turn. She gets big quick. Holy cow.
There's a certain draw that will, like, save my life here. Draw. And that's not it. Swamp.
Seems like you could use a Valakut's Exploration.
All right. Let's see. That thing's gone. 3 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's prolong the inevitable. 3,
Yay.
red, Mog Infestation. Destroy all creatures target player controls, and you get 2 goblins each. Have yourself 6 goblins.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not gonna try to find a way to get rid of them for you so that I don't get goblins. 6 goblins for moi. One small step for moi. Moi, moi, one giant leap for Moron Mountain.
Oh, and also, did I do that? I think I missed that. I lost a Life and Draw card. And why not? Let's throw out a squeak.
He's back.
I know, right? Say go.
This was the first time I've lost my commander this game, right? Or second time? First time.
First.
Cool. Draw for the turn. Cool. 3, 4, 5, 6. I play my Prosper. I play a Viridian Longbow for, like, free because it comes with a treasure. And then I'll drop a mountain for the turn, which will exile the top card of my library. It's a Terminate.
Sweet.
Which I guess would get your squee out of the way.
That's true.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we'll do it with a treasure. And in a way that doesn't take up all my colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sack the treasure to do so. It's a Meteoric Mace.
Nice. +4/+0 and trip.
And Cascade, specifically.
Oh, Cascade.
And Cascade casts from exile.
Are we sure about that? Let me check that.
When you cast the spell, exile cards from the
it says
top
it
of
right
your
there. Yep,
library
all
to
right.
exile a non-land card.
So just looking up any reminder for exile.
Varagoth, the Blood Sky Sire.
Nice.
I get a treasure.
I was thinking about... Oh, because Foretell. Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking about cutting him from Kalia.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to use the treasure. 2, 3. 4, 2. Suit up the Viridian Longbow on the Prosper.
Cool.
You ever seen a warlock use a bow? No, because they have Eldritch Blast. It's weird that he doesn't have anything like Eldritch Blast. But I guess that doesn't really make sense. Throw a D10's worth of damage at a creature up to 120 feet away. It'd be really weird to add distance into Magic the Gathering.
I was gonna say, did they also own Warhammer? No, that's Games Workshop. Okay.
And I'll swing with a 6/1/1 goblins.
I'll block one of them with Squeak.
You take 5.
Okay.
1 dies, so
Okay.
I go to 5.
Squee dies, so sack a creature.
And I go down to 4.
Alrighty.
And it's your turn. I exile the top card of my library.
I'm going to...
Sorry, you take 1 from the Terminate going into my graveyard off of the Valakut's Exploration.
Okay, I'm alive. I'm going to, for once, remember to put Squee in my hand.
Nice.
Also lose life and draw a card.
Also,
Regular draw.
when he attacks, I get to tutor onto the top of my deck.
Cool.
And then Prosper exiles it. It's almost like gaining access to that card this turn.
Swamp. I think I want to cast all of these. Okay, hang on.
All of them. These 7 cards. Plus the Sailor Calcos. And Exodia.
Oh, sweet. I think I have just enough. Sweet. 4, 5, 6. The Immortal Sun.
No, my Planeswalkers.
Yeah, but also
There
spells
are
cheaper.
some in this deck.
Yeah. Spells are cheaper.
You'll never guess what they do.
Like Squee, Goblin Above.
What?
And for a black, Price of Fame, destroy target creature. It's 2 less to cast if it targets a legendary, and also 1 less, so it's just a black.
Cool.
Targets a legendary, I mean, probably your commander. He seems kind of... I mean, I can't hit a goblin, and Varagoth is kind of a problem, but Prosper also seems like a problem. I mean, he currently has the longbow on him. That seems like a problem.
This guy also has Death Touch.
Yeah, that's true. You can tap deal the damage, which is going to kill him, but that's fine. Let me hit Varagoth.
Yeah.
I think so.
What is it? Kills or exiles?
Destroy.
Okay. That does stop me from tutoring for any card in my deck.
Yeah, that seems worse, especially because Prosper is, like, cheap. Like, affordable.
He'll cost 8. Yeah.
And then I surveil 2. Look at the top 2, put any number of them in my graveyard, and the rest on the top in any order.
I feel like I used Price of Fame in
Put both this mountain and this commander sphere in the graveyard.
whatchamacallit there. Puzzle Quest.
Probably. So I got this Squee and this Immortal and this Grave Pact, and you got a thing there.
That's a
and
2/2 Squee.
I know, right?
Interesting.
Say go.
And I draw. It's a mountain. I probably should. Oh no, it's not a mountain. Duh. It's a Forgotten Cave because
Nice.
it gets me a treasure,
Nice.
which exiles the top card of my library. Which
Viridian
is a
Longbow is like
solemn.
+1/+0, I think. Viridian Longbow.
No, only
Only the
tap to
okay.
throw a damage.
Okay. And reach, I assume.
Nope.
No?
Nope. The equipped creature has tap that deals 1 damage to target creature or player.
Man.
You don't need to put anything else on it when a creature has Death Touch.
Yeah, but Skeleton Archer can't hit. I don't know.
Yeah.
If Game of Thrones, up until that one moment, taught me anything, hitting things that are flying with, arrows is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Until it's not.
Until that thing is an ice spear,
Yeah.
in which case, never miss.
Well, that is special Eldritch.
I will pay 4, sack the treasure for the Solemn, which gets me a treasure.
Cool.
Which looks for a basic land into play tapped. It's a mountain, which will exile the top card of my library to my Valakut's Exploration. Again, I have really good cards in my hand and don't feel like playing any of them. It's a Bitter Blossom.
Strong.
We'll pay 1 and a black. Sack the treasure for a Bitter Blossom, and it gets me a treasure. Again, might as well say spells you cast cost 1 less to cast.
Yeah. Except if you're Corvold, it's fucking great.
Oh my god. Could you imagine? I would put a Prosper on Corvold.
Of course. I set up a Corvold deck, and I'm like, what is it? I think I'm just talking to, like, Billy or something. I'm like, what do you think of him? And he goes, if you cast Corvold, you are kill on sight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is now the
yeah.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, yeah, he does seem real good. And then he was like, did you read the end of the card where it says also draw a card?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, oh, geez, easy, better.
I tap 5 mana made of treasures. Draw 5 cards, gain 5 life.
Yeah.
Or you don't gain life, he just becomes bigger and you draw.
Yeah, he gets +1/+1. Yeah. When he enters and when he attacks, you have to sack something.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
You know what? Let's try this thing. I don't think I've used it yet, like ever. So let's Chaos Wand you. Opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they hit an instant or sorcery card. I can cast it without paying its mana cost.
Enchantment, Goblin Warrens. Swamp. Tormenting Voice, sorcery.
Ooh. I cast it, which gets me another treasure. And I
You
can
don't even have to pay
discard.
for it. That's ridiculous.
Huh?
You don't even have to pay for it?
Yeah, no.
Chaos
without
Wand in
paying its
every
mana
deck.
cost.
These stay in exile?
Yeah.
Chaos Wand every
Wait,
deck.
no, wait, no.
Okay.
Exile cards that weren't cast this way in the bottom of that player's library in a random order.
Return. Not exile. On the bottom of the library.
Right.
Okay.
It's that card without paying its mana cost, but the exile cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of someone's library.
Without paying its mana cost, but it does say as an additional cost, discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
For what it's worth.
Which I did.
Okay.
And then I'll use the 2 treasure to play an Arcane Signet. Man, I was really hoping you had like a kill spell for your Squee.
I got a Witch's Oven. You don't want to try.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I do not have sudden death in this deck. And even that.
Meteoric Mace over onto the Prosper.
Makes sense.
+4/+0 and trample. So I swing with my squad.
I die.
You die?
Thanks. I have 6 life.
Oh.
So
Jesus.
I'll throw Squee in the way, absorb 2 of that, and then 3 goes through, and that's 7. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, hang on. I block him, and then sack him. So how much trample damage goes through?
5.
All 5?
Yeah, because you're no longer in the way blocking.
Yeah.
So if I have trample, all the damage goes through.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So throw him in the way and die. Yep.
Nice.
You know, maybe Darksteel Plate doesn't need to love me this much.
Deflecting swat in the hand just in case you
Nice.
try to kill the Prosper.
No, that'd be good because you know what else I have in my hand? Brash Taunter.
The Gonti, which exiles cards off of your deck that I could cast.
Sweet. I want to know more about the Aetherborn. They're so cool.
The Chandra, whose +1 ability is to exile the top card of your library, and you can cast it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm maybe I don't want to exile as many cards as I do. Like that Chandra, I could probably go without. Whereas, like, I really like